At his peak, Neymar wasn't just unstoppable. He wasn't just snapping ankles, he was bending reality itself. Because what if I told you he didn't peak once, not even twice? Neymar reached 3 completely different heights. Each one belonged to its own era, each one was a version of football the world had never witnessed before. This isn't a story about one prime, it's the story of a man who ruled 3 different worlds of football, each time reinventing himself, each time redefining what talent actually meant. At his peak in Brazil, Neymar didn't look like a prospect. He looked like someone who had already finished a career. His story begins in Sao Paulo, in a neighborhood where football wasn't a pastime, it was survival. His family lived on thin margins, and his father, Neymar Sr., a former professional himself, became both guardian and guide. By age 11, the kid wasn't just the best on his street, he was the best anywhere. In Brazil, scouts search everywhere, but the best street kids often burn out. They peak at 15 and vanish by 18. Neymar wasn't supposed to last long enough to become a phenomenon. At 13, Real Madrid sent scouts to Brazil. They watched him train, watched him glide through kids like they were holograms. Then they flew him to Spain for a trial. He passed. The contract was ready. $58 million for a teenager in 2006. Unheard of. But here's the part nobody expects. Every South American dreams of Europe. Neymar rejected it. He said no. He went back to Santos, back home, back to rising on his own terms. And once he returned, everything accelerated. In 2009, at just 17, he made his senior debut. He didn't ease in, he cut straight through. 14 goals in 48 matches. For a teenager, those numbers weren't promising, they were terrifying. Teenagers don't dominate men, not in Brazil, not in a league of elbows, scars, and broken shins. Neymar didn't adapt to the league adapted to him. Then came 2010, the year he stopped being a prodigy and became a force. 14 goals in 19 Paulista matches, 42 goals and 60 contributions across the year. The question was no longer, is he special? It was, is he too good to stay? By 18, Europe was chasing him. By 19, he debuted for Brazil. By 20, he reached 100 career goals. In Brazil's top flight, most players never reach 100 in their entire careers. Neymar did it before he could legally drink in the US. But nothing defines this era like the 2011 Copa Libertadores. Santos hadn't won it since 1963, the age of Pelé. Neymar didn't feel the weight, he felt destiny. 6 goals on the road to the final, 9 goal contributions in 13 matches. And in the second leg of the final, in a stadium drowning in memories, Neymar created a new one. 1 touch to settle, 1 touch to guide it into the corner. A goal that ended a 48-year drought. A goal that crowned him not as the next Robinho or Ronaldinho, but as Brazil's next great hope. That same year, he won the Puskás Award. He finished top 10 in the Ballon d'Or while still in South America. He became South American Footballer of the Year twice, beating global icons. And just when you thought he couldn't burn brighter, came the 2013 Confederations Cup. 5 games, 4 Man of the Match awards, 4 goals, 2 assists. And in the final, against peak Spain, the tiki-taka empire, he didn't compete, he dismantled them. Spain hadn't lost a competitive match in 29 games. Neymar broke them in 45 minutes. This was Neymar as Brazil's golden child, a street king turned continental superstar, a player who conquered a nation, a continent, and a national team before touching Europe. But this version of Neymar lived in a world built entirely for him, a kingdom that worshipped his talent. The real test was next. What happens when the king leaves his castle and walks straight into Messi? When Neymar left Santos in 2013, Europe already knew who he was. They wanted to see who he'd become. Barcelona paid $71 million to bring him into a team owned by Messi. The rule was simple. You orbit Messi. You don't challenge gravity. But Neymar didn't slow. He sharpened. His first season wasn't explosive. It was efficient. 30 goal contributions in 41 games. He wasn't the star yet. He wasn't meant to be. He was learning La Liga, learning the tempo, learning how to thrive without being the center of the universe. Then came 2014, the World Cup at home, a nation on his shoulders. Neymar responded with 4 group stage goals, man of the match performances. Every touch carried electricity, until the moment it stopped. Juan Zuniga's knee fractured his vertebrae and nearly ended his career. Brazil collapsed without him, 7-1, history's darkest night. The response came a season later, 2014-15. Barcelona wasn't just great, they were generational. Neymar became their most lethal weapon. 22 goals and 9 assists in La Liga, 7 in the Copa del Rey, 10 in the Champions League, joint top scorer. He scored in every final, Champions League, Copa del Rey, Club World Cup. Every decisive moment had Neymar's fingerprints on it. MSN was born. Messi, Suarez, Neymar. 122 goals, 64 assists, one season. Neymar was the blade, the bridge between orchestration and chaos. He finished third in the Ballon d'Or. For the first time, he looked like the heir. But the peak hadn't come yet. In 2017, Neymar authored the greatest Champions League comeback ever, down 4-0 to PSG. Then came the night. 2 goals, 2 assists. Total rebellion. Neymar played above Messi. The headlines showed Messi. Neymar understood the truth. No matter how bright he shined, he was in someone else's shadow. So he left. $222 million. History shattered. Paris handed him the throne, and he delivered. 28 goals, 16 assists, 30 games. Ligue 1 looked broken. This wasn't adaptation, this was domination. Until Mbappe arrived, another son, and Neymar learned the same lesson. Even kings can be eclipsed. The injuries came next. Metatarsals, ankles, ribs, nearly 300 days lost. But when he played, he was elite. In 2020, he dragged PSG to their first Champions League final. He didn't win the trophy, he won respect. By the end, Europe blamed him, so he left. Not misunderstood, just never fully understood. Now he's 33, slower, fragile, but still capable of magic. An Olympico goal here, a reminder there. Not what he was, but proof he existed. Because Neymar didn't just have a prime, he had 3, and there will never be another.